Okay, here is video number 4 with the law of sine, law of cosine examples. So, watch the first 3, they'll all be helpful. The first thing I look at here is I'm going to draw A, B, C. I don't really care if it's to scale. Angle A is 42 because it's the meaning of life. Okay, little a across from here, a little b across from there. So notice right away we see that this is the bad word. Angle, side, side is the bad word. We don't want the bad word. We don't want the bad word backwards. This is the ambiguous case. So if you remember from our previous videos, we wanted to see, okay, first of all, it's the bad word. Second of all, it's acute. Yes, that angle is acute. Third, is the opposite side smaller than the adjacent side? The opposite side is smaller than the adjacent side. It is. Okay, so we're either going to have 2 triangles or no triangle at all. So let's see what happens here. So if I say sine of 42 over 12 is equal to sine of b over 20. Okay, so sine of b equals 20 sine of 42 all over 12. Find my calculator. I just forgot. Okay, sorry. 20 sine of 42 over 12. Okay, so I get this answer, and I want to talk about this in just a second, but let's say I don't notice anything. You should, especially since we've already graphed y equals sine of x, and since we've already talked to unit circle. Hopefully you're noticing there's something going on. Pause and think about it for a second before you continue. But if I don't notice something's wrong, and I go second sine of the answer, okay, I'm getting a non-real error. What this is telling us is that there is no triangle. As soon as you see something like that, there is no triangle and you're done. You don't need to answer the rest of it because it's not possible. But what happens, if you remember, sine stays between 0, I lied. Sine stays between -1 and 1 the whole time. So if you think about the unit circle, your sine is your y value, the biggest you ever get. This has a sine of pi over 2, or sine of 90 degrees is equal to 1. The lowest that it ever gets is down here. Sine of 3 pi over 2, or 270 degrees, is equal to -1. Your sine values stay between there. Or another way to think about it is your sine curve does, okay, pretend I can draw. It's doing something like that, where it never, until you do any, it'll change if you transform it, but before you transform it, it stays between a +1 and a -1. Okay, so when we had sine of an angle equal something bigger than 1, we're trying to say, where does this graph cross with something, well, it never crosses. So that is how we know that there's no triangle. Okay, stick around, go find videos 5 and 6.